Hello Chappy Wappy and welcome back. It is day 2 of the Marble and Sand Divine Fest. I'll be opening up a few chests, not many, and I'll also be hatching 2 new dragons for me because, you know, you may not believe it, but I've still got clan dragons to get. Still. Because I'm not super diligent with all my clan stuff because it's just kind of boring. But let's open up some more chests. No times 50 again. Sad. We got times 50 in our first 5 chests, and it's not going to happen ever again, is it? That was it. We used all of our luck in like the first 2 seconds of the event. But yes, right now if I open up every single chest, oh, there's a times 10. Very cool. Then that puts us to just under 180 holy talismans, which for day 2 is fine, right? We've got more dungeon stuff to do, more event stuff that we're going to have to do. But there we go, I'm going to claim my second legendary recipe because, you know, it's just been a lot of refreshing ingredients, trying to get the ingredients that we need. I really need the rainbow candy right now, but it's not coming. I will do this quest for... I'll actually do both of these, sending gifts to friends and the dungeon one, because I also need that epic ingredient. So those 2 quests weren't so bad, but some of the other quests have been pretty terrible in Cake Craze. But it's not the worst luck I've ever had. But we'll go and do this 3 dungeon KOs in a second. But before that, we have 2 new dragons to hatch. So the first new dragon that I've got is this purple boy over here that's got like ninja hair. Okay, it's not quite ninja hair, but that's what it reminds me of. But this is little Lumiplant, who is of course a clan dragon that you can get for doing clan things and opening clan packs. Only an epic, so neither of these dragons are going to be too cool or super hyper impressive or anything like that. But I'm still missing a couple of clan dragons after I hatch these 2, but I think I'm only missing like 6 pieces total. And then we'll get some of these collections done, and I'll be a happy girl. So these nocturnal forest dwelling dragons have strips of bioluminescent skin that glow beautifully in the dark. They like to dance amongst trees and help travelers who've lost their way. Isn't that nice? Little Kale guiding the lost, aren't you? I have to say that Lumiplant definitely suits the theme of the void habitat, don't you think so? And I'm also a massive fan of the light blue at the edges of Lumiplant as well. It's just like a pretty little plant in dragon form, which is what it's meant to be. But you know what? I actually really like Lumiplant. A few of these clan dragons that they brought out after a few years, I actually do quite like them. A very nice colour scheme. If anyone ever wants to create an art piece that's got purples, throw some like turquoises or light blues. Definitely a good colouring. So then, of course, the second dragon that we've got here, being another clan dragon, is Mr. Icy Boy Glacier, who is an epic with water, wind, and shadow, which, you know, again, I'm never going to use him on a team, but it's another dragon to add to our Codex collection, which takes us ever inching closer to 700 dragons and collection stuff. So the Glacier dragon may act cool, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath that cold exterior is a warm heart. And what more can you ask for in a friend? What, are we assuming that he's going to be our friend? He looks kind of angry. I don't know if he looks like he wants a friend. Well, I guess he's got to make do now. It is what it is, Glacier. Be my friend, or that's it. That's it. Suffer, I guess. But yes, these clan dragons, they can take a while to collect if you're not in one of the super high tier clans and you're not doing loads and loads of clan stuff all the time. But, you know, the fact that I can get them eventually is still good. I've still got a few dragons, like dungeon dragons, I've still got to collect some of these clan dragons, which I think there's only 2 or 3 left now. And I'm really close to getting them. But it's nice to add a new dragon to the collection. I kind of forget that they exist sometimes, so it does feel nice. It's like, ooh, a new dragon. I'm not used to that. But, oh well, it is what it is. You know, we're getting our gems. We're going to get another clan pack here. We actually got thrown back into Clan 2 or Tier 2. I mean, yes, we did I did put the clan in to compete last week, but I don't think anyone actually did anything. So we got knocked down to level 2, which is fine. I don't actually care that much. It's just, you know, League 2 can seem a little bit weird. It's like, really? Is your clan even active? Yeah, some of us are active sometimes when I can be bothered to try and go for the clan dragons, right? But if you are a new player, you should definitely join a clan, regardless of what the clan really is, because you do get clan dragon bonuses, and you do get the random clan packs that have dragons in them as well. So you should probably just join anyway. Even if you don't have a super active clan, you can still get all the dragons eventually. But anyway, aside from that, of course, we've got our Divine Fest stuff that is ongoing. I just wanted to make sure those got hatched. I did also manage to breed a duplicate of the Hierophant, so we're going to have him as well. And there we go. I got a double egg relic, which could be useful. But I'm not going to do too much because I want to make sure that I've still got my quests open for Cake Craze, because those ones that I refreshed, I'm going to have to come back. That means I can't do my sigil map fights, because don't forget, for some reason, doing sigil map fights is counted as a Cake Craze quest, which is one of the most annoying things in the game. Because if you do your sigil map fights, and then you get that quest, you've got to wait an entire day before you can even do it. But anyway, coming back to the dungeon, because of course, there is going to be a lot of dungeon grinding this month. We just need to make sure that we're actually doing the quests, getting some stones. Even if you're not super diligent about it, it's actually a better idea to not immediately bless, because then you'll do less damage and you won't knock them out straight away. But I don't care too much. I care, but I don't care enough to like super go out of my way to do technically risky things, because obviously if you don't bless, you're at risk of losing your run. If a strong dragon comes out, it can happen. Like, I can still one-shot them for now. If we get unlucky, we might just get one shot. Maybe I should risk it, and then you can laugh at me when my Nezha gets one shot. You like that? Is that what you want to see? You want to see me suffer? Of course you do. It's like every time I ask people if they want me to buy a dragon, they say, yeah, buy it, waste your money, do it. I know what you're like. I know what you're like. But, you know, because my main 3 dragons are at such a high level compared to my other dragons now, it's just really difficult to get a lot of bonus points now. If I hadn't leveled up my team for the arena, I'd probably be okay. But I also want to get Shinobi. I want to get Dungeon done. I want to do everything in game. And because of that, I am going to suffer a little bit in terms of my dungeon progress. But not too bad, right? Like, even if I suffer in my dungeon progress a little bit, it doesn't really matter to me. Because we've still got a team that can do a lot of dungeon things, do a lot of dungeon stuff in general. So, it doesn't really matter. But as I said yesterday during the live stream, maybe you tuned into that, maybe you were like, oh god, that's like 2 hours, I don't want to listen to all that. Just remember that if you want to know how to get more... Oh, I probably shouldn't have thrown Andy in here. If you want to know how to get more holy talismans, it's dungeon grinding and events grinding. That's what you need to do. Dungeon grinding, events grinding. There's no other way of reliably getting lots of holy talismans. Those are your only options. So you've got to have a dungeon team ready, and if you don't have one ready right now, then maybe work on it for a couple of weeks and then try and grind out the dungeon in the last 2 weeks of the event. That would be my advice. Of course you don't have to, but if you want the best chances of getting Hathor and the other dragons, that's probably what you should do. Now, considering all of that at the same time, you know, maybe you had a team that you just want to keep progressing on the map with. But even if that's the case, if you just lower your or even out your dragons levels just for this event, just so that you can get Hathor and the other dragons, probably going to be a good idea. It might mean holding back your overall game progress for a month. But, you know, these events give lots of dragons and you might actually end up using them in the future. I'm talking about someone that, say, has already got some divines and some ancients and they just want to get the map done. you probably should just come back and see if you can grind the dungeon as much as possible. And again, if you can get around about 1,000 stepping stones per round, and that's a really rough average. You might get a little bit less sometimes, you might get a little bit more, but if you can get around about 1,000, that's when it becomes worth it to gem in the dungeon, potentially. Question is, when are you gonna gem? I would say, for some people, it's better at the beginning of the week, just to get the KO counts high, so then you know if you can actually, you know, do that dungeon week. Because sometimes, it depends on your team, but the dungeon rotation may not be good for you. And in that case, at least you find out sooner, right? Then you've already wasted gems at that point. So some people tend to opt to gem the dungeon at the end of the week, especially if there's going to be a gem spending event, which I'm not sure if there is this week, but it might be a good idea to hold out just in case. But then some people do it right at the beginning to get that KO count up. Really, it doesn't really matter. And plus, since the dungeon with the holy talismans is going to be for the full month, you can actually just pick a singular week or 2 weeks to grind the dungeon and just not worry about it for the other weeks. Because, you know, doing dungeon for 4 weeks can really tire a person out. But the cheapest way, of course, is going to be to grind all 4 weeks, every 6 hours as a minimum. But if you just want to get it over and done with in like the first 2 weeks, go crazy. You're able to do that. You don't have to, you know, grind the dungeon for 4 weeks if you don't want to. Some people will, and they may get major benefits out of doing so, but you don't have to do that. Just letting you know now in advance, but thank goodness we can finally get this quest done. Did I get it done? Did that work? I thought it was defeat 3 dragons with 1 blow. Yes, I think we did. Sometimes it doesn't bring up the quest being complete. And I think, wait, I thought I needed to do that game. Turns out I did. It just displays really late, so thanks for that, game. But yeah, you might get really bored of dungeon, but you gotta do it. It's just a tale as old as DML now. Every major event relies on dungeon, and all the major reward dragons rely on dungeon, so you gotta do it. If you don't want to do it, then you'll probably have to say goodbye to all of them, if not most of those new divines and Hathor. But I said it yesterday, if you're a newer player, you really should be logging in for this event and trying to get all of the dragons that you possibly can. It's this stupid ash dragon. This is like the 3rd time it's done this. As soon as it spawns in, it one-shots me. I need to remember that after the dark machine, he spawns in. I need to remember, dark machine spawns, then we're gonna get the ash dragon spawn in. It's that purity, DD, not fun. No bueno. No bueno. But I've lost my ancient now, so we can't really keep grinding at this point. We'll be able to get a couple more kills from the metal, but aside from that, it's gonna be rip run. And considering I wasn't super try-harding for points, what did we get, like 1 point something K, which is fine. That's sort of the minimum that I'd want to go for, but I am already on the purple chest, so ideally I'd rather be earning about 2,000 per reset. But, you know, if you're not paying super attention and you're not being super try-hard, it might take 2 runs to get a purple chest. Maybe you'll get 2 purple chests for every 3 runs, sort of thing. And at that point, it's definitely worth gemming the dungeon a bit. But, of course, I've already seen algae turn up in my first purple chest, and I already have it, SMH. I wish that would have happened last week game. I needed spell work, and I think I opened the chest, was it 10 or 11 times? Didn't get spell work, of course. Typical. Absolutely typical. I'm also going to leave up a couple of my ruin explorations here. My ruins have really not been paying out, by the way. They've not been paying out with gems at all. And I'm not a fan of that. But I'm going to leave a couple of them up, again, for Cake Craze, just in case. I don't want to use my ruin skips. I think I've only got 6 of those, so I don't want to potentially run out of those. I'm going to keep them up. I don't really care about this collection at all, since I already have all of these dragons, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I do. So, Summer Puzzler, I'm not really worrying about it. It's just, you know, you gotta finish Cake Craze to do it. So, good luck, but keep re-rolling for those legendary ingredients. I wish you the very best. I hope that you can get 8.2k as a minimum and get all of those tickets. But, in the grand scheme of things, log in, do your stuff, get some new dragons every now and then. That's the name of the game. The name of the game. No more tickets for us to open yet though, because I need to keep opening up that purple chest. Pain. Big pain. But for now, good luck. I hope that you can get all the dragons that you want, and until next time, bye-boo.